Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the comments video, the uncensored. This time around, uncensored doesn't mean a thing because I'm going back 5 days and there hasn't been a single comment that has been questionable or rude or anything close to that. So sorry to disappoint you if you're looking for the occasional nasty comment. Didn't happen. What is today? Today is the 25th of, wow, it's 25th of March. I always say at the end of the month, we're running out of the month. We're running out of March. I'm going to be in New Mexico soon. So currently the plans are, today's Tuesday. Monday, I have Wednesday, a week from tomorrow, I have the follow-up appointment with the surgeon. So I'm sure he's going to do a set of x-rays, do an examination, sign off on the surgery, and sign off on me driving, which means that it's very likely that Cheryl and I will maybe take off. Cheryl's going to drive with me part of the way, I think. That's not 100%, that's about 90%. Going to drive part of the way. She's going back to Tennessee. I'm going to New Mexico. We're going to travel together part of the way. So that may happen as early as Thursday. Isn't that exciting? So we'll be on the road Thursday and Friday. That's exciting. That'll really be something. So weather. Oh my gosh, guys, listen to this weather. Today, let me pull this up on my trusty bat phone here. The high today, Tuesday the 25th, will be 97 degrees, which means without air conditioning, out here in the desert, this will be 105 plus, almost 110 inside here. Are you going to worry about me? Well, don't, because I have a Predator 5000 generator, propane driven, and not only is it running, it's been running my AC for the past 3 days, and on one 20-pound tank it ran for 3 days. I switched over to the new tank yesterday. We're gonna fill the empty one today. But not only was I running my AC, I ran a super long extension cord out to Cheryl's, and it's running Cheryl's AC too. Isn't that amazing? So tomorrow, it's going to start cooling down, high 94. Thursday, 91, then Friday down to the 82. Saturday, 78. And we'll be back. I don't see any 90s through the long after we're going to be gone in April. So let's get going on these comments. Tommy says, it doesn't hurt where the incision is, ? I had a hernia incision that was only about 3 inches long and it hurt like heck for 48 hours. And no, never hurt at all. The incision site itself, where the cut was, got the bandage off yesterday, I think, or the day before. So the bandage is off, no inflammation, no pain, just swelling. Eddie says, I hope you get better soon. How old are you? I'm 65, Eddie. Let's see. Hey, Desert Deb again. I'm glad you're doing well and you have caring, knowledgeable friends looking out for you. That's a great thing about the Nomad community. I'm demonstrating that for you all in spades here. And there's nothing special about me. You just go out there, you treat people kindly, you're friendly, and you're going to become part of a tight-knit community out here. Don Collin Creative, thanks for posting. Wish for a quick recovery. Christy Lena says, has the nausea subsided? That was just in the first 20 minutes of the car ride home, and nothing since then. Randy, thank you to Cheryl for taking good care of you, Rob. Glad to see you recovering so nicely. I'm sorry that so many of these comments are going to be about the hip surgery. I'm not going to say much about it other than answering specific questions, but it's the big thing that's going on with me, I guess. Blazer Val, glad to hear it's going well. Crafty Traveler, hang in there. Renee Slater, give yourself grace and rest. You'll get there. You look great. Sue's at large. Wow, Robbie, starting to look so good. Thanks for the update. Not surprising that Cheryl helping you is doing so well. Best wishes that recovery stays on this course. Lynn's at large. Lucky you, have had hip pain for over 2 decades, and I just gaslit about it without ever getting pain management. My RA referral was, I diagnosed you with RA, but then you couldn't get health insurance as my health insurance paid for the referral. I just take glucosamine, chondroitin because I'm on my own. I don't know. I don't know about your health insurance, whether it's through an employer. I'm not an expert, but certainly if you enroll in Medicare, they're not going to reject you for pre-existing conditions, especially when you first enroll. If you get a Medigap plan, there's no underwriting. And there's no refusal for existing conditions if you go through the Affordable Care Act. But if you're stuck with an employment one that won't cover you for a particular condition, which I've never heard of, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Anyway, Cushman, glad it's going so well. Tamara Lemon, looking great. And yes, Dottie and George, no, thank you to your friends. Can't wait to see you healed. Barb Connor, my buddy Barb, who went with me to the surgery. Cheryl is awesome. You look great. Each day gets better. Robin Goff. Hey, Rob, Dottie, and George. So glad to hear you aren't in much pain. And Dottie and George know that you are hurt. So glad you have people helping with whatever you need. Naj says, hey, Rob, I'm glad you're doing better. And each day feels more like yourself again, one step at a time. It's great to have your own private nurse, Cheryl. Pup Camper 58, subscribe now. While quantities last, subscribe to PUPCAMPER 58. It's so funny. Every time I say this on a say subscribe to her and ask people to do it. Here's the only reason I do it. She's not totally serious about a YouTube channel. She's not monetized or anything. She just has a little bit of fun with it. And she doesn't watch a lot of my videos. If you're with me every day, why would you? You listen to me talk every day. What, do you want to go back in your trailer and listen to me talk some more? Of course not. But anyway, I get a kick out of it because she'll send me a text. I got another 10 subscribers. What's going on? I'm like, I have no idea why you're getting so many subscribers. Let's see. Dee Dee Cornell, good afternoon, Mr. Rob, Dottie, and George. Glad to see you're doing well and doing video updates. On the longest marriage ever. Positive news. Ken Gray says, lovely story. Lori Roar, hey, Lori, miss you. Thank you, Miss Cheryl, for helping Rob while he's dying. You're so appreciated, I'm sure. Heal quickly, Rob. Take care of yourself. Hi, fur babies. Ken Gray says, I don't know if this will help you or not, but it really helped me when I got a severe gum infection. Pain went all the way to an 8 for me. Oh, Ken, that's awful. Looks like a 3 to 5 for you, maybe sometimes 6. Oh, he gave me the pain scale. And you can Google this. The 0 to 10 it has specific meanings. Robert Burns, get well. Susan B, thanks for the update and glad to see how well you're being watched over by your friends and by Dottie and George. Dottie and George probably sense the operation as something like a wound, which worries them and draws them together to guard you. Animals are the best. Yeah, if you missed that especially that first night, they're not exactly affectionate with each other, Dottie and George, but they huddled right together, touching each other right next to my leg all night long and wouldn't move. 60 Cloud, glad to hear you're doing well and with very little pain, it sounds like. Alvin Musso says, take care. Endura, London, looking good. Shirley Rowe, it sounds like you're doing great. Do everything your physical therapist tells you to do. That's easy because I don't have a physical therapist. Some people really have a hard time with that, but this particular surgery, not only is physical therapy not prescribed, it's specifically, I'm told, not to do it by the surgeon. So no physical therapy. Hip replacement on the road, number 3. Glad you're doing well. Greg Miller says, thumbs up. Robert Ballard, well done, Rob. We are very happy to see you doing well in recovery. It's so great to be well prepared as you were and have loyal friends who can step in and keep your mobile castle operating. I like that, my mobile castle. This is my mobile castle. Anybody wondering about why I have a green chair? It's a green cover. Because this is where I usually sit, right here. This is the back of an office chair, and my desk is on the other side. And that's where I usually do my videos when I'm not recovering. And there's certain videos where I cut myself out of it and put a separate background in. And this is like kind of a green screen. Otherwise, I get these artifacts over my shoulder where it's got the black of the chair. So that's what that's all about, if you were wondering. Shelley, as a nurse, I know you can sleep on the opposite side with pillows between your legs. That's often comfortable after a total hip. And Shelley, you're right. I eventually did figure out that is okay, especially after I could easily lift my leg. So I sleeping with my left side down, which is my good side, unoperated side. But it starts getting a little sore after a while, so I end up maybe half the night on my side and half the night on my back. Pamela Knoll, watch this one twice, tracking with you, praying you have a good night's rest tonight. Martin, thanks for the update, wishing you a speedy recovery. Thanks, Martin. Diana Soapmaker, I love that name, Diana Soapmaker, and I bet she makes soap. I've said that before, haven't I? I'm glad you're doing well. Hope sleep comes for you soon. Cheryl is such a blessing. Go easy, Rob. Larry Couch, wish you the best. Susan R. I do think you'll get used to sleeping on your back. I'm probably around your age and always slept on my side. Then about 1.5 years ago, I had an accident and broke my femur. Ouch! That's the biggest bone in the body. That's the bone right at the top of your leg. That's the one they sawed off the top for me and put in the new head. Surgery to insert a steel rod down my femur meant like that, like you couldn't sleep on my side. Yeah, that's exactly what a hip replacement is. They put a steel rod in the top of it, right, and then put a ball on top of that. Oh, just the thought of it just gives me the creeps. Fast forward to now, I'm still sleeping on my back. Happily, may your recovery continue to be smooth. This is on a very old one, Cuddy router for cellular internet. And how much was your monthly bill? I have no idea. It's the monthly bill has nothing to do with the router that you have. That's someone that's a little confused. It's if you have a cellular router, it's the cell plan that you have, and everybody's different. But that person is so one-off, and they're not going to be listening to this. Naj, hey Rob, hope you're feeling better. In regards to trade, you are so right. Trades are barely recognized, especially. Oh, this is for on Mike Rowe's 63rd birthday on trades, meaning trades like automotive, mechanic, electrical. School focus on big career like lawyers, medical, and high-tech money-making jobs. They forget not everyone can be a lawyer or doctor. Someone has to fix things. I would say that sentence a little different. They forget that not everyone wants to be a lawyer or doctor. Some want to fix things, right? They want to do it. Where would you be without your car mechanic, plumbers, electricians, constructors? We need everyone to build a society that functions well. And that includes people that, how many of you have run into an electrician or a plumber or a mechanic that exudes joy for what they do and enthusiasm? They're doing what they love. That doesn't mean they couldn't be a doctor or couldn't be a lawyer. Do what you love. Do what you love. Is great advice. Sanra Fahola, I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry. Are you in a campground where you have electrical hookups? No. That machine would be difficult for a small boondocking rig. No, I'm boondocking, no hookups. And it's not difficult for a small boondocking rig at all. That's not the thing is, no matter what the size of your rig is, it's the size of your battery bank and solar array. I have a small boondocking rig, but I have 700 amp hours of lithium batteries and 1,200 watts of solar. Maria Fuentes, thank you for keeping us informed. We'll continue praying for you, Rob. You're not alone. JB Madera, so relate to the sleep issue. I'm on a week 3 after soldier replacement and bicep tendonitis. I don't know what that's like, but it just sounds painful. And I'm still having to sleep on my back. It makes no sense to me, but when I try to sleep on the non-surgery side, pain radiates to the surgery side. Oh well, best of luck with your recovery. Adventure with Merit says you sound. I'm gonna snuck in. You look good, but she didn't say that. She said you sound really good, Rob. Wow, amazing. California 869. Glad you're doing well. Praying for a speedy recovery. Pop Camper 58. My nurse. You've been an absolute joy to help through this process. Your recovery, in my opinion, has been absolutely amazing, and 90% of it is attitude and willing to get well. There are 2 replies on that. Nathan, living our journey. Rob is blessed to have such amazing friends in his life. And Kate Kramer says, I agree. Great attitude and great friends. Rob, you got it made. In the shade. Let's see. Ken Gray says, feed Eric to Bruce. I think Eric made a really nasty, this guy named Eric made a horrible comment, which I read, then fed him to Bruce. That just means I blocked him. And Bruce, on the set of the movie Jaws, was the nickname for the jaw, for the shark. Jaws. Dun, 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 dun. So I call my, when I send someone to the recycling bin, I feed them to Bruce. Brian Dady, thank God you have supportive friends that are helping you. And Dottie, true friends are a blessing. Kosternock, I can't get over how small the incision appears to be. It's like this big, it's that long. That's it. And no wonder my leg's so sore, because they put instruments in there and spread things apart and got in there and sawed and pulled the bone out and just, I'm sure they had a hammer. I just don't want to know. I don't want to see it. I'm sure it was like a construction site, but they did it through this little incision. It just freaks. It's just amazing. I fractured my wrist the night of the Eaton fire evacuated in January, and my scar might be longer than yours. Glad you're doing so well. Don Collin Creative, Rob, you're returning to your pre-op state. Thanks for the positivity. Story about the little boy reminds me of the Red Sovereign song Teddy Bear. Brian Stevens says, hope you heal fast, no complications. Brian has another comment. He says, I'm supposed to have hip replaced in my knees after that. Glad you explained things so well. You can look at my review, my day-by-day experience, and compare yours to mine. Yours will be different. That's the only thing I can guarantee. Yours will be better, worse, or the same. What can I say? Everybody's different. John McFarland, glad to see you recovering well. I thought it was to be much harder on you, but you seem to be taking the new hip easily. Thank you for blocking Eric. The courage some people get behind, this is from Debbie Hersko. The courage some people get behind a keyboard allows some very angry, mean people to spread their horrible behavior around. Can you imagine, I can't remember what he said, but it was really horrible. But can you imagine how hurt that person must be inside to spread that kind of venom and hurt to other people to make them feel better? It's when you think about it, it's tough. It's tough. Renee Slater, Dottie George, know their daddy's hurt. You talk about hair. I had a friend with 2 Goldens. I'm the same way, feeling guilty when someone needs to help me. You're like me, though. We would help anyone who needed it. Pup Camper 58. As a true blessing, you seem to be healing wonderfully. Continued well wishes. Old Man 52. You got to be taught, quote, from the Broadway show South Pacific. It's part of a song. I think I was talking about Eric again and saying, to hate, you have to be taught that. Someone needs to teach you that. Any bad behavior that you have that's sort of ingrained in you and repetitive, you got taught that by either a person or circumstances or something. It gets taught and you take it in, and that's how it works. The haunted campers. They were my neighbors right out here for a while. Hi, hope you're getting better. Thank you. Judy Vowell. So that's what your legs look like. She camps with me a couple of years in a row. I never wear shorts. You wear long pants all the time, so the mystery is solved. Getting ready to leave. Hope to be back in the fall for holidays. Giving you a virtual hug for Buddy and me. He will certainly miss you and Dottie. Buddy's Judy's dog, just such a sweet dog. And I would go there. There's a fence by her place, and Buddy would hop on the top of the fence and give me kisses every single day. And she's back in Bishop, California now, and she sent some texts and some pictures of Buddy. So I sent a short to her, said, give this to Buddy, and I talked to Buddy and said hi to Buddy and told him I missed him. And she recorded a short of him listening to it. Oh my gosh, I teared up. He obviously recognized my voice, and it was, I don't know what to say. Couple Science Works. And that is Kathleen, my buddy Kathleen, fellow counselor. When I went back out to the best place, when my back went out, the best place was to be in my RV. I could hold on to things around me, and the bathroom was right by the bed. Very convenient. Glad you're getting better. Yeah, she lives in a Class C. Arlene Griffin says, sorry to hear you had to have a hip replacement. I had both of mine replaced, but if you get your therapy and follow your doctor's order, you would do great. I was up and moving normally after 3 months, and I was like, I had never had done, other than I had no more hip pains. Love all your daily reports you do at Quartzsite. That's a thing you got to be careful of when you're watching this, maybe down the road in particular, and I need to mention this in my hip replacement video series. Pay attention to the date, because if someone in 2028 is watching my video, information may be outdated. Like back 5 years ago, everybody got physical therapy with hip replacements. Now, with the minimally invasive anterior, there is no physical therapy. At least with my surgeon, there wasn't. So things change. Mike Cerny says, hey, Rob, glad your surgery went well. Just got back from another trip to Laughlin, was catching up with the videos. A couple of videos back, you mentioned seeing a wind generator at someone's camper. I did see one. Just wondering how or if the combination might work if a person has both wind and solar. Could they not be tied together? Okay. When I did look into this a couple of years ago, I did find that the charge controller for the wind generator had to be a separate thing from a solar charge controller. So you would need two charge controllers, and that was kind of a bummer. And when I looked at the wattage that even a medium-sized wind turbine was putting out, it seemed pretty low to me. Far lower than a typical solar panel. So that's what kind of turned me off to wind generating. The only thing, you might make the argument, well, it could go all night. But out here in Quartzsite, the wind almost always dies down at night. Not always, but most of the time, when the sun goes down, the wind dies. Not always, but most of the time. Nash says, hey, Rob, every day you look a little better. Your previous shirt just showed how much Dottie and George loved you. So that was, I think, one of the first videos. The first video I did the day after surgery, I think I talked for 25 minutes. Then I went to watch it. And I give people a hard time that give me crap about hair on my shirt. But this shirt was so covered with hair because I slept in it on the bed with the cat and the dog and didn't pay any attention. And I'm like, if this is this distracting for me to watch myself, I can't publish this. So I had to do the whole thing, change my shirt, and I did the whole thing over again. And okay, are you ready for this? I finally acquiesced. Today I'll be picking up at the mail service a package of 12 great light gray t-shirts. I gave in. What can I say? I gave in. Eugene Chopin says, Rob, your video on bullying made me cry. I've been bullied all my life. I'm 70 years young, and I had to retire at 62 because I had enough. Being taken for granted and taken advantage of is still bullying. Would think being kind to people is the right thing to do, regardless of the outcome. I hope Quartzsite, with all its diversity, has some people just like me. Absolutely. Who can still sing a song that's in their heart when they've forgotten all the words. Those people are hard to find, hoping for speedy recovery. If you're not finding people like that in Quartzsite, it's sad. You're missing out. They're wonderful people that spend their winters here in Quartzsite, and they're wonderful people that spend year-round in Quartzsite too. Frigo Jim, you'll be kicking it with the Rockets in no time. Glad to see you're doing well. RV Life said, you sound and look great. It amazes me how your hip surgery went so well and seems already healing up. Congratulations on your medical team and recovery. Debbie Hersko says, you're blessed, Rob, with good friends and two amazing home care nurses with Cheryl and Dottie. Dottie, guess what? They made you a nurse. Ken Gray says it takes a lot of courage to ask for help. This is, there was a positive news video that I titled We Could Lose Something. And this really got to me. This young woman, she's about 30. And she is talking in a short, I think on Instagram or TikTok or something, about her 92-year-old grandfather who went to the newspaper and cut out with scissors a couple of articles that were related to her job, and enclosed a handwritten note, thought these might interest you, and put these things in an envelope and put a stamp on it and mailed it to her. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is it's not done anymore. And she was sobbing. She said, I'm thinking about my 92-year-old grandpa taking scissors and cutting out these articles and writing out a note to me and taking it to the mailbox. And she was just so moved. And it's like something we've lost. Because, I find interesting things I think my sister or my brother or my friend might be interested in. And I click the link, I text them, I send, it's different. It's not personal. It doesn't take effort. It's almost as much effort as the thought. We lost something. We really did. Win Gypsy. Amazing surgery, did it myself. Actually did bilateral so I could get it over with. I've heard a couple of people say that, and I go, I've got one hip replacement. Two? Are you kidding me? Two at the same time? Wow. Coming up on 5 years. First 2 weeks were tough, but after that, all good. Take care and get out as soon as you're able. Dennis B., great recovery and progress. Keep on keeping on. Let's see. 60 Cloud, you're a real trooper. By the way, what's your favorite kind of ice cream? And I replied and I said, that's a moving target. Raspberry swirl is the current. Well, shit, that's 60 Cloud was Perump Cheryl. And hours later, she showed up at camp with a big half-gallon full of strawberry ice cream. She couldn't get the raspberry swirl. We're in Quartzsite. Your choices are limited. Nancy Lowe, but it was really good ice cream. I still got some left. Really good strawberry ice cream. Nancy says, glad to see you outside. I bet it feels good to be out in the open space. Actually looks like a great meeting place. Robin Goff says, good to see you outside with your friends. Leezer44, glad to see you're doing well in your recovery. Good friends are so important to have in your life. Continued blessings to you and the gang. 12 Gale. Hey, Rob, you look great. I may have to have hip replacement in the future. My partner had a knee replacement. That was intense. Take care. Yeah, the knee replacement is more intense than hip. There are more moving parts. It's a more complicated joint, so it's harder, and the recovery's tougher. And Thank goodness I don't have any knee problems. Margaret says I had my hip replaced 10 years ago. My doctor had me up and walking 4 hours after surgery. I also had PT right away, lots of walking. Forget that I even have a fake hip. Okay, so that's changed, right? They had her up and walking in 4 hours after surgery. They had me up and walking an hour after surgery. As soon as I woke up, they had me on a walker and they had me walking to the car. And I bet, Margaret, you probably spent a day or two in the hospital. So that was 10 years ago. And I don't have any PT. Nash says, hi, Rob, Barb, Sally. It's glad to see you outside making big step. That's awesome. Glad Sally is getting better also. My buddy, Sally, she broke her foot. And it's been tough on her. I'm looking outside. She's moving her rig around. I don't know where she's going. Oh, she's getting work done on a rig today. We could lose something is that positive news video I talked about with that sweet young lady. Christina Lena has a heart. Muscle Car Club and bully victim. Christina Lena has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hearts on that one. And that was just such a touching story about a little boy that was bullied. He had diagnosed with autism, and a kid at school told him he should just go home and kill himself. And he actually got a knife, and his mother caught him, and she talked to him and talked him down. And he was obsessed with cars, so she puts out, like on social media, on a local thing in town, saying, hey, my son's been bullied, and she tells a little bit about him and says he loves cars. So if there's a car club or anything that could come by with like 3 or 4 cars, it would mean the world to him. Still gets to me. They had to shut down the roads in the town. They had to block the roads. There were so many. Shelley Wilcox says, sounds like you're doing great and you look well. I'm glad you aren't in too much pain. I had a total knee replacement. My pain was a 12 out of 10 for the first 2 weeks. Oh, Shelley, I'm so sorry about that. I lived on pain meds and continuous ice machine. Way to go. I got the serious pain meds, but never so far, knock on something that looks like wood there. That's as close as I can come. I haven't had to open it and use it. Cody Andrew Maxwell. Walmart Prompt doesn't have men's yellow polo shirts my size. Cody and Maxwell and Cody and Rue Maxwell. I'm not sure why you're telling me that Walmart and Pahrump. I mean, this is a video on my Pahrump Walmart trip, but I'm a little surprised on the yellow polo shirt comment. But I think it's probably better information. Even if you gave that information to Walmart, I doubt they'd go out and buy polo shirts. Maybe try online. Carol B. Road Rider, very helpful video, thanks. I live in a minivan. I can't imagine how I could have my hip replaced in this tiny space. I'm glad you seem to be recovering well. Wikia Rat. Damn, I gotta say that's very impressive getting outside like that. Going downstairs, good job, man. Randy G says, excellent news. So glad you're recovering so quickly. Air V Life, I believe we're on the same schedule for hip replacements, so I completely understand what you're going through. Sending you positive vibes and wishes for a speedy recovery as I heal up in my RV too. Wow, so we're both doing it at the same time. Wow. Joe Summer says, hey Rob, glad to see you're doing well. Been in my prayers and have been keeping up with your journey. I think it's awesome. You keep it real, much admired. No disrespect, but on the t-shirts, why not try some grays and other lighter colors? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I got 12 gray ones, so we'll see how that does. Take care. See you tomorrow. Take it easy. Slow with trying too much. Friend of mine pushed it too quickly and cost him 3 times the healing process. Well, I'm sure you discovered this was a few days ago. I did have a setback. I overdid it. It didn't set me back 3 weeks, but it set me back a little bit. The Dusty Cat travel's nice. No better healing than being with friends and family, normal or not. Do you hear scratching? This is what Dottie does. Hang on. I think she might be done. What are you doing over there, Dottie? She finished. It's like she digs a hole in the bed, or pretends to. That's real important to her for some reason. Ken Gray says a good milestone for both you and Sally Forth. That's getting up. We both got outside the same day. Adventure with merit. Way to go. Woohoo. Renee Slater. Woohoo. Look at you guys outside. So happy to see the progress. Stacy Jones says, love your fur babies. I love my fur babies too. And Margaret Wakely voice. That's my sister. Fresh air. Good friends are the best medicine. Alpha Pup says, aren't you glad you didn't go into rehab, though? And I said, yeah, I'm glad I didn't go. I wanted to go into an overnight rehab just because my brother scared me a little bit of what it'd be like the first couple of days. He said, you need to be in the hospital. So I found a place to go that would take me, and the doctor said, no, you don't need it. I'm not going to write you an order because it's not medically necessary. And I'm glad he did that. Alpha, if you're going to get PT, please make sure the provider's name on the insurance website. I could not see him on it, so I asked the company I went to, and I was reassured the provider was in the system. Now I have $1,500 in bills. Okay, so this is not good information for me in my situation because I don't get PT. No physical therapy necessary. Susan B says, I love the way Dottie watches you as you prepare her food. Yeah, she watches me like a hawk. She knows that's her chow you're working on. She wants you to know she appreciates it. I also appreciate it if copy your recipes from my little dog, Lilliput. She watches me too, just like Dottie. Thanks for your post on Lilliput's behalf and my own. Well, you're welcome, Lilliput. I hope you're enjoying your homemade meals. Debbie Hersko, you're doing so well, Rob, and I say it again, Miss Dottie is the cutest fur baby ever. Nomadic Camping says, good job, I had to use a walker. Dottie says she wants to do it. I do have a walker. I don't think I'm going to use it too much anymore, though. I think today we're going into town. Don't worry, I'm not going to overdo it. We're going to one place, and I'm going to dig out my cane here and use my cane. Stacy Jones, wonderful outcome. I can feel Dottie's excitement from here. Skyweaver says, oh my gosh, good for you. Dee Dee Cornell says, good morning. It's good to see you moving forward with your self-rehabilitation. Mario Fuentes says, Rob, it's great to see you walking. Recovery is going great. Lisa Ross, good morning, Rob. You're looking great. Donald Sewell said, boy, look at them legs. Lobster loves stories. You're a fantastic example of a good patient. Randy says, so happy for you. Excellent recovery. John Barber says, very good. Thanks for the update. Ola, Rob, and Dottie, one day at a time and heal quickly. Take it easy. Silver Turtle, Ola from Costa Rica. Wow. Wishing you a speedy recovery and sending good vibes your way. Pamela Knoll says, no noticeable swelling and no pain and no strong drugs with all the TL says the best we pray for. God loves you. So happy you're doing well. You look great. That's from Brenda O'Rourke. And Donald Vesey says, glad to see you're doing well. Tamara Les says, look at you. Take your time. I think Dottie and George were either worried about you or the sound of your leg squeezer. You look great. Adventure with Merit. So glad, so happy you look so well and recovering so fast. Listen to the professionals. Use your walker. Glad to see it's going so well, Robin, that Dottie is comfortable enough for her to go to a walk. Looking forward to new hip. Thanks with Dottie. Thank Rob. Keep on walking from Tuvia. Wikiup Rat. Amazing you're doing so well. Congratulations. Tamara Clymer. Glad you're doing so well. Do you think the reason you don't have much pain is because you have a high pain tolerance? Maybe you had so much pain before that it feels so much better now, or just a great experience. I think I'm just lucky. I'm just lucky. Pub Camper says you're amazing. I had a feeling you would do well post-op. You know, so much pain before the surgery for so long. You're basically pain-free aside from the healing process. Did you hear that beep for the text? That was Idaho DMV. You must pay your outstanding toll or, you'll go to prison. I don't know about the prison part, but don't fall for those text messages telling you owe tolls. It's a big scam. RV Life, fantastic. How did you bump your head? Yeah, I bumped my head on the storage compartments over the bed. Debbie Hersko, Rob, you're doing so well. Every day, the improvement is impressive. I think a day or two you'll be doing a tap dance for us. Amazing. You anterior post terror surgery. I think you meant, but that's spell check. It's anterior. That's Brian Stevens. Ken Gray on the Harvard for free, the tuition free for people with family incomes under 200,000 and room and board included if you're under 100,000. He says, such good news. So many people will be able to get the education we need in this country to be more competitive in the world. Jack Brown says, Rob, you're doing great. Give it a couple more months and you'll be signing up for a 5K run. Ken Gray says, I subscribed to Pup Camper as a thank you for helping you out. That's great. So you're one of them. RV Life, boy, I wish I was available for me years ago. Imagine the possibilities. That was on the Harvard for free. Topaz Farmer Travel says, awesome, on the same one. Salvatore Ambulato. I think that means, what does that mean? Something about being ambulatory walking. Great to see you upright. That's from Kosternock. Hello, Rob. This is from Bob Cavallo. I'm glad to see you're progressing well in your surgery. I had the same procedure done when I was 65 also. I'm now 70, and after hearing a comment about your brother's issue with his hip, maybe my experience with rehab can help both of you. I progressed through therapy fine, but retained the limp I had before surgery that your brother describes. My surgeon's PA finally explained to me that the issue of not feeling like your hip moves forward, so your stride is without the dip and limp. She recommended walking in place in a pool. Since I didn't have ready access to a pool, I discovered riding an e-bike in a lower gear with enough boost to avoid the strain finally brought back those hip flexor muscles back to life. I know you have an e-bike, so if you suffer with this issue, give it a try. It sure fixed me. Thank you. That seems like very smart, very good advice. Kathy Stevens, wow, hopefully you're not doing things you shouldn't be doing. Please don't push it. Kathy, are you a prophet? It's coming. James Donovan, you're the man, and God is always the man who take care and do likewise. Go. Terry, for safety, let's compare my knee replacement the same day as your hip replacement. Wow, the 17th. Working in healthcare, I accept it. I logically know that it will take a knee longer. I've emailed the office twice to get more refill for PenMed, only 4 left. Taking all other meds as prescribed. Doing a rehab device as prescribed. Doing PT as prescribed. No appetite, no sleep deprivation. I had 1.5 blessed hours from noon to 1:30 today. Dog and kenneled and extended to stay torturing my emotions. I'm only 70, decent size and decent physical health. Nurse as a career. See the comparison contrast? It would take me 5 more days to get even close to your status. I'm sorry to hear that, Teresa. I wish your experience was better. I really do. PC Thayer. Glad things are looking good with your recovery. Keep up the great work. Diagaros. Outstanding physical shape, great accomplishment. Dottie is bored and George is sleeping. Renee Slater says, amazing, keep up the good work. Eve Carrington said, congrats on your speedy recovery. I hope you get stronger every day. You're looking fantastic for a guy who just went through major surgery. I hope you'll be recovered enough to make the trip out of Quartzsite with no problems. Me too. Elwood. Hey, Rob, it's your good buddy, Elwood. You're doing phenomenal. So happy to see you up and around, and just hope you stay in the men. Don't accidentally slip and fall, buddy. Yeah, that's the biggie. Rest is good too. Glad to see you're making such positive headway. Let's see. Christine Lena says, amazing, Rob. Wonderful update. Robin Goff says, hey, Rob, Dottie, and George. I'm so happy for you. People just don't understand what it's like to live with pain. I feel like I'm being struck by lightning 24/7 since September 2009. I had surgery to correct 2 different problems with my left elbow, and I've been in excruciating pain since. Keep getting stronger. I'm sorry to hear that, Robin. Naj says, wow, awesome. You're walking awesome. Soon you can try out for the Radio City Rockettes. You will be able to do those famous high kicks they do. Big hug to Dottie and George. Eve Carrington, great. Now I want cookies. Glad you're feeling better, Greg Miller. Daryl, my buddy Daryl, my brother Daryl, super duper. Randy G, Rob, I have to say you're really doing amazingly well. I've heard horror stories from people who had something replaced. Mind you, some of these stories span decades, so outdate medical advances, etc. However, I've never heard or seen anyone recover like you have. Wait. I'm truly amazed and relieved. Your videos have really helped me. I know these surgeries are most definitely in my future, but I do not have the horrible dread and fear in my gut anymore. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. You know what? This is going to be a little weird, but I want to get my coffee going, and I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt this, so I'm gonna tap my face. Come on. Oh, come on. Where's that? All right. I know there's a way to tap my face and it'll follow me. Why isn't it doing that? Double tap. Okay. So it's going to follow me while I go over here and I need to put some water in here. And we got Endora to the hip replacement. One of the hip replacement videos says yes with a lot of S's at the end. So we're gonna heat that up. Here we go. And in case you're wondering about my coffee habit, ooh, we need to rinse this cup out. Day old coffee. Yuck. So, if you're wondering about my coffee, I use Starbucks Premium Instant Coffee. So I get myself a little spoon, couple of medium-sized scoops. And then, wherever I am, I like to get the local honey. I think it's really good for you, especially local. It's good for allergies and stuff. So I'll sweeten it with honey. And when I hear the whistle on the kettle, I'll fill this up and I'll add some half and half. Tokyo Soul. Shutting off the fan in here. Tokyo Soul says, thank you for the in-depth drive-through. This was on an older video on Mora, New Mexico. Mora is in northern New Mexico. It's near Coyote Creek State Park. I guess I went to the max on that. There we go. So we'll have to see how that footage came out. So that was quite some time ago. So I did more as a neat little town. I did kind of a tour of it. And they said, thank you for the in-depth drive-through. My husband spent a lot of good childhood memories there and wanted to see how it changed in 30 years. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. That's wonderful. Patty Carrera says, it's truly amazing how quickly the healing process has begun. You look well rested and happy. What a wonderful group of ladies helping you out. I'm sure you will get stronger each day, and it's great news that you don't need the strong meds. And Dibsy Actual says, it's so glad it's going well for you. The Dusty Cat's travels. Dusty Cat. Great, my husband is needing a hip replacement. We'll be working on getting it done ASAP. It's keeping us from the road. He's ready for this. The pain of recovery is less than the original hip pain. Question mark, 68 hours sleep is good for you. Okay, the pain is different from the original hip pain. I would say in some ways it's a little bit more intense, and certainly recently it's been, I've had some, I call it soreness when I'm not mobile. Like when I'm sitting here, I can feel a little faint tinge of the leg being a little sore, even though I'm taking my Tylenol every 4 to 6 hours. And before, I would only feel pain when I was standing or walking. So it's a little different. Sherd Rain says, I'm the beloved urinal, a man's best friend post-op. Glad to see the recovery is going well, pretty much on schedule. Deborah Miller says, did the hospital doctor offer you physical therapy? No. This requires no therapy, and the surgeon said absolutely no therapy. Don't try it on your own. Don't go to a physical therapist. Do not do that. Tuvia says, thanks, Rob. Stay well, safe and kind. Heal too. Let's see. Bruce Schneider says, great. Listen to your nurse. John Barber says, so glad recovery is going well. Frugal RV Guile. Jana, hey, looking good. That's amazing. James P says, looking good. It's nice to see you walking around enjoying the outside. It's good that you're walking so well, no limp. You look taller already. RV life. Renee Slater, tell him, Cheryl, you're doing an excellent job. Listen to your nurse. Let's see. I'm going to turn this a little bit because I'm going to have to get up and get that coffee going. And I don't want it to lock up again. Snow Deb says, yay. A positive news story of 5 for 1 on number 370. Lisa R says, thank you, Rob. Much peace to you. Randy G says, look at you. Hip replacement video. Judy Val says, I wish I was there to witness your first walk. The 5 in 1. Ken Gray says, love those stories with over 6,000 books. Physical was my last favorite. Ken Gray says, you're going so well. Congratulations. Dee Dee Cornell says, good as usual. Good afternoon. And see you outside. Good to see you outside and walking. Edie Ron says, so glad you're healing up nicely. Keep up the good work. God bless you. Edie Ron says, so happy to see you outside taking a walk. Tell Dottie and George hi for me. Keep getting well. Your gait is great, says Costernacht. Your gait is great. Pup Camper, you're doing great. Speedy Gonzalez. Wow, you're doing great. Lisa Hall says, take it easy. And I agree. Don't overdo it and hurt yourself. Slow and easy. You're a trooper. It looks like you have great friends nearby to help. Mark Heiser says, you're doing great, Rob. It's Mark Rollheiser says, you're doing great. God bless Mark. Mark in Kansas. Maria Fuentes says, great news the other week. On another week and you will be recuperated. Thank you. Let's see. Adventures with Merit. Look at you, ready to race around La Posa South with Dottie in no time. So they're all commenting on a video, the number 5 video, which showed me zipping around on my walker around camp. Rob, you're doing well. This is Robert Ballard. You're doing so well, and it's a relief for all of us to see such a blessing. You probably hear the screaming and celebrating north of you. That was your followers in Kingman wishing you the best. Listen to your nurse and let your close friends help you heal up the rest of the way possible. Lots of love and snacks for Dottie and George. You know, it's really our loyal fur babies that help us recover. Biggin. Glad you got some fresh air. Tell them to help with those black shirts and help you keep those black shirts free of dog hairs. Well, I'm going to gray. I'm going to gray shirts starting. Probably you'll see the first one tomorrow, I bet. Look at you. Just don't overdo things. Listen to Cheryl. Another pathetic comment. James Donovan, great job. Couple signs. I think you're brave to undergo this while boondocking in the desert, but you have great desert nurses and you're taking charge of your recovery. All good things. Keep up the good work. And Endora, London has clapping hands. Air RV life. You're making better progress than I am, but honestly, it still gives me a boost just seeing it happen. Tommy says, glad you're doing well, my friend. I need one of those VR head setups. It looks neat. Christina Lena, all those are good stories. The 5-in-1s. You look marvelous. So happy for you, says Christy Lena. Looking good. Congrats. Susan Larson, doing great. Daryl, my brother Daryl says doing great. Susan Jack, glad to see you up and around, doing good. Hip replacement on the road. 3 days after, fantastic. Arta Levi says, Pamela Knoll, bravo, you're a champion. Naj says, hey Rob, all you is some off-road tires and a Luna engine in that walker, and you'll be able to go cross country. Rob, I'm glad you're doing better. That's from Anna G. Rodriguez. And Tamara Lemon says, doing great. Brenda O'Rourke says, you're doing great. So well, Rob. Looks like you got some great cheerleaders. A positive news video called Great Advice, number 371. Lisa Roth says, excellent advice. Wendy Sosa says, hi, Rob. It makes me happy to see how well you're recovering. Your recovery has been amazing to watch. It's definitely because of your positive outlook on the surgery, your grateful attitude, and many prayers. Definitely not luck. I look forward to watch your daily progress and watch towards zero hip pain. And of course, at your age, we have our little aches here and there, but nothing like the pain you're experiencing. As always, thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you, Wendy. Hi, Mork. H. Mork. Must have felt great to get out and go for a drive. I certainly enjoyed it. You have gems for friends, fantastic, and feel cared for. This was on a comment on the number 6 video that showed me going into sound and zipping all over the grocery stores and everything. And that was the day I did too much. There's a video I had him putting on a sock after hip replacement. No, Krista Lena said, I had no idea there was such a gadget. Might gift one to a family member. Hoping it didn't hurt you, I demonstrated. Oh, it looked like I was pulling pretty hard. You got to pull pretty hard, but it didn't hurt at all. Al Rosan, thank you for your travels. I'm up for a hip replacement. I'm next for a hip replacement. The replacement has been going well for you. Didi Cornell, good after his usual daily good afternoon. Tanya, up with good, down with bad. On great advice video, Ken Gray says, very good advice, always worth revisiting several times a month. Ken Gray says, I cannot tell you how many people will just leave the cart because whatever, and you're being polite and well behaved. Ken says, excellent exercise today. Well, Ken, guess what? It was too much. He also says my favorite theme cereal was Boo Berry. Was it Count Chocula with Boo Berries? I think it was. He also says it's okay to treat yourself sometimes. I did a Marie Callender's peach pie for dinner yesterday. Blood sugar was up last night, but it'll be back to normal when I check it tonight. Nash says, hey Rob, wow, you're really progressing quick. Soon you will be able to go rock climbing. Keep up the good work. Robert Ballard, Your recovery is nothing short of amazing. Keep it up, but keep it in second gear for a while. You're so lucky to have the best of friends. You can see people inserting subtle things after seeing my high activity, saying, take it easy. They're trying to, without being insulting, they're trying to say, you might want to slow down a little bit. I didn't pay attention. Putting on a sock after hip replacement, that would probably be hard with a longer sock, I would think. I think you just fold it down, I think. And it'd be fine with a longer sock. Jeff Radford says, the series of videos on your hip replacements helped me get over my fears. I get my hip replaced on April 18th, and I've been a nervous wreck. Thank you, my friend. That's great. That's great. Regina Harrison, such a cool gadget. Regina is a very 30-year plus, very close friend. Regina and David, they live in Dallas, actually Richardson, Texas. Richard Draw says, my sister makes the best chocolate chip cookies. Coyote Fresh makes the second best. And that's Richard Ross. Virginia Hankey says, momentous. I refrained from Neil Armstrong on the moon phrase, but this is great. Heather Hudson says, just recovered from knee replacement. Glad to see you out. Tony LaBella says, I stopped at Black Bear Diner and ate breakfast. It was really good. My wife wanted to go back and eat dinner there the same day. Happy to see your hip surgery recovery is going well and wishing you all the best. Pamela Knoll says, thanks for... Do you hear the thing boiling? Pamela says, thanks for taking us along on the maiden voyage. All right. I got to figure out how to do this. There, double tap. Okay. So we're going to turn this so it's not so big a deal for it to follow me. All right. And, you know, the way I'm kind of limping here, did it go to the max already? Well, I think I'm good. It's stiffness than pain. Here, we close that up, give her a shake to mix everything up, release the pressure. Then I'm going to sneak in here, get some half and half. Almost out of half and half, Rob. Put it on the list. Put her on the list. Little spillage here. We got that. Sure that is the burner off. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, and this, my little gel pack for cooling. I just finished that one. It's back to room temperature. Then you got the second one. It's almost ready to go again. And here we are. And it did lock again. It just hopefully you got to see enough of me. It just has a limited range of motion. Tony LaBelle says, I stopped at Black Bear Diner and ate breakfast. It was really good, and my wife wanted to go back and eat dinner there the same day. Happy to see your hip surgery recovery is going well and wishing you all the best. Black Bear Diner is great. Thanks for taking us on the maiden voyage to Quartzsite today with Barb, and Heather was right there with you. Thanks to Barb, too. That was Pamela Knoll. Susan B says, it's great to see you're able to get around so well. You certainly aren't short of friends to help you and to keep Dottie company. You are rich in friends. If you run into that salt water through a Berkey filter, would it remove the salt? I don't think so. I don't think that the Berkey filter removes salt. Anyone, feel free to correct me on Pup Camper says, saw me put on the sock with the little gadget. She thought she was going to have to put my sock on for me, but she didn't have to. I got a gadget. Roseanne Swan says, trying to remember what to do on steps. All good people go up and all bad people go down. Good way to remember. Up with the good, down with the bad. Doing great. Keep it up. God bless. Over an hour with Robin, this lovely chauffeur. Yay. Pamela Johnson, you'll be jogging in no time. Take it easy. Don't want you falling. You don't want to fall. You don't want to fall. You could actually ruin the surgery and have to have surgery all over again. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine that. David Pearson said, thanks. I drive a Class C and have been thinking about traveling without a toad. I've never seen a video of someone using a Class C to run errands or go into town. That dirt road leading out of the main road in Quartzsite doesn't look bad, and it seems like parking isn't an issue during the off season. I'm curious how Barb managed parking during the peak season. I think it's a little harder, but she managed. Barb doesn't complain about anything, so it's not a great job. But she doesn't have any desire to tow a car. She does just fine. Renee Slater says, oh my God, I bet you were so excited to get to go to the store. I was full of vim and vigor and enthusiasm. Yeah, didn't end up so well though. Spoiler alert. Thanks for taking us along your ride since I've never ridden in a Class C. It's so nice to experience it with you. Dang, I was hoping to see inside the new store. They don't allow filming in the store, so sorry. Those sweets are my favorite case, but I'm a diabetic too. I love Cap'n Crunch, but too, it makes the roof of my mouth feel weird. I remember that. Love Viva paper towels. Great job today and great prices on those eggs. Yeah, $5.67 for the dozen eggs at Dollar General's DG Market. AR Zoe said, I loved my sock assist. Keep up the good work. In 2020, had both my hip replaced at the same time. There's another one that did it. I am so impressed that you did that. RV Life said, this is very educational. I'm glad I don't need hip surgery. WikiUp Rat. Holy smokes, Superman. I'm glad you're taking it easy now. I thought you were overdoing it. Seemed too good to be true with all that running around so quickly after surgery. Glad you're feeling better and your swelling is down. And this, I believe, is on... yeah, this is where I published the setback video. Because what happened after that wonderful day with Barb in town, I was back here and I was on my walker out in the desert, and Cheryl comes out and I said, Cheryl, something hurts really bad over here. And she comes over and she said, pull your sweatpants down a little. And I did, and her eyes got big. She said, oh my, you're going back to the trailer now. And the whole side of my legs was swollen like a blowfish. And we iced, and I took a little bit of extra Tylenol, and it was bad. It hurt a lot. And I didn't get much sleep that night. And I realized, I didn't run a marathon or anything, but I did have quite a bit more activity because I was so enthusiastic and I felt so good. And one thing I ignored was, and this may be helpful for you if you have the surgery, right on the side of my leg, I noticed for days before this, there was like a pinpoint where I could put my finger in and say, right under this right here, I feel a sharp pain when I'm walking. Just right under where I could put my finger. Highly localized sharp pain. In the surgery center, I mentioned to them, they said that's perfectly normal. But that was the very center of where the swelling was. And in retrospect, and I'll do going forward, whenever I feel that pain, I stop. That's it. No more activity. Get back in the seat. Don't do that. And so I'm going to repeat, Brad says, holy smoke, Superman, I'm glad you're taking it easy now. I thought you were overdoing it. A lot of people thought that. It seemed too good to be true. All that running around so quickly after surgery. Glad you're feeling better and your swelling is down. I learned my lesson. I really did. Coster Knox says the fact that swelling went down so quickly is a very good sign. Be kind to yourself. Lisa just says good morning. Trivia said thanks, Rob. Just take your time. Dada, you'll appreciate it too. Cotty Wample says glad to see it going well. Jen says, well, and sometimes you don't know overdoing it until it's overdue. I'm a terrible patient. I hate not being able to do what I want. Just think you'll be dancing in a daycare place 3 months from now. Good morning, Mr. Rob, Dottie, and George from Didi Cornell. And Didi Cornell says, slow up, my friend. I did. And ever since then, well, Ken Gray says Ken doesn't split hairs. He's straight short. He said, mistake 1, overdoing. Mistake 2, self-diagnosis via internet. Very human, very normal. Once you've taken it a bit easier, your recovery will accelerate again. Keep the faith. Now, the swelling definitely went back down. The swelling's back to normal. But I'll tell you, is that the bruise is still there, and it's tender to the touch. And my leg feels like, if you've ever done weight training, where the next day after you overtrain a muscle or overlift on a muscle, it feels that muscle soreness. And that's, today is Tuesday, and this happened Saturday. So there's Sunday, Monday, 3 days, and it's still, the leg is sore. I'm doing a lot of icing, alternating ice, hour on, hour off. Stacy Jones says, please be careful, Rob. Don't push yourself too much. I'm not just thinking about you. I'm thinking about all of us who depend on you. We love your videos. Please take care. Pamela Johnson says, take it easy, Superman. Relax and heal. I'm putting on the sock after hip replacement. Randy says, nifty. On the setback, Judy, who's in Bishop now, says, don't make me come back there. Octura gets a new heart. A little girl got a heart transplant. Ken says, such a heartwarming story. And TDR says, yes, I know Taos. That's where McLeod was from. I didn't realize that. McLeod, the old TV series, where he was in New York City, but he was from out west. He was from Taos. Chris and Two Shih Tzus, how did you get scabs on the top of your head? Glad you're taking it easy today. Couple signs. Yeah, I wonder that also. I hit my head in the rig. It happens. I get it. Tamara Lemon says, I always overdo it in the minute I feel like I move. Rest. Just being grounded at my brother's house. You'll have to heal before you actually can do those things. You got to be a patient. This is on hip replacement recovery gear. This is quite some time ago. It says, damn, good luck. You look to be doing good today. Just don't overdo it. Well, too late. Rita M, yeah, I was waiting for this to happen. You really need to listen to the doctors more. It's to your benefit and healing. Go back to staying inside and taking things slow. Naj says, hi, Rob. Take it easy. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. Just do a little walking at a time. For example, 25 feet today, 25 feet, tomorrow, 28. I know the torn ligament, my ankle and knees. At night, I would pay for all the sins I did during the day. All the walking I did in the day at night, I paid for in pain, praying for you to recover quickly. I'm glad you're feeling better. Can't wait to go to New Mexico with you this summer. That's Robin Mallory. Oh, Rob, laugh out loud. When we were watching the whole trip to town, my wife commented she felt you were being pretty aggressive on how much you were walking and stairs. You still sound fantastic. Keep up. Now, hopefully, better pace recovery. You're fortunate to have such good friends in Quartzsite. Rob, did you bump the top of your head? That's from Nancy Medeas. Yes, I did. I live in Colorado. Just Google distance to Eagle Nest. Only about 167 miles from where I live. Eagle Nest is a wonderful place to visit. Robert Bailey, cool it down there, cowboy. You don't want to ruin a great surgery. I agree with you that you can have a false sense of healing and end up being a bit too active. Listen to Mr. Cool George and dial it back a little. Just chill like Dottie and George. Robert Baylor says, hopefully you're okay with the heat. I'm surprised that even though the weather warned of it, I'm watching the Pump Camper 58 video and our tip on opening windows. It's a great tip, but without air conditioning, your comfort options are limited without air conditioning. I do have air conditioning, so there you go. Pump Camper, things are looking really good today. We removed Rob's bandage, which I'm sure he will do a video on. So glad he's doing well. And he's an excellent patient. Gypsy Minstrel says, both hips and knees in my case, and they were all fugly, with swelling in lovely shades of blue, green, and yellow as time went by. Yeah, it's going to be a while. Do what your surgeon told you. When they get you up walking shortly after surgery, I felt so good with no pain, I overdid it and passed out completely. Wow. Oh, Gypsy. Woke up to a terrified wife and a bunch of doctors and nurses trying to find blood pressure. Slow and steady. Do your ankle pumps while lying down or sitting. Keeps the blood flowing, which helps with the swelling and bruising. If you're like me, you will hit everything with that hip for the next few months. After healing, you'll be so glad you did it. Nomadic Camping said, I felt like an ice pick was poking me early on. That's exactly what it felt like. Exactly like an ice pick. He also says, the hardest part is making yourself take it easy. We feel so good. We want to get back at it. Give yourself a good 3 weeks to recover. Christy says, whoa, a blessing to have a nurse at your beck and call. Lisa Hall says, oh no, take it easy. Take time. You need to truly heal. Tommy says, glad you're doing well. You even go out shopping up and downstairs. Great job, buddy. And he that was before he saw the next video. Artura gets new heart. Christina Linas gives a big heart for that. Donna Parro, oh my Rob, take it easy. Glad you're okay. Nomadic Extina, take it easy, Rob. It's great you have Cheryl and your nursing experience to help out. Whoops. Renee Slater, all that sucks, Rob. You pushed too hard. Nurse Cheryl to the rescue. I watched Cheryl's video and it was hot. Dee Dee Cornell, hello, Mr. Rob, Dottie, and George. Glad to see you back on the grid again, not letting your setbacks stop you. Itching to go. So appreciate this series. Just happened to come upon your video. It's been very helpful as I approach the same surgery within the next 6 weeks. And Debbie Hersko has the last one 4 minutes ago. And that's on the one I released today, Feeling Better. You're doing amazingly well, Rob, with the exception of your setback, which is a good lesson to heed. You have good friends taking care of you. And that's it for today. And it's 77 minutes. Holy mackerel. Who's going to watch this? Put something in the comment if you made it all the way to the end of this without suffering. I'd be amazed. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm grateful. Especially those of you that watched this whole time. Are you kidding me? Bye.